Just set up some music and then let's go. Oh. Hold on, you're almost made it. Good. Now, yes, so yesterday I was working a bit more on the picture. And I'm happy to share what was cooking. And I think that I nailed the contrast between the background and the foreground. I'm still not so much satisfied with the dude's color. He looks a bit washed out, but then again, they are more of a purple race. Now what I'm thinking about is maybe, just maybe, I'm gonna try to play with the rim a bit. But I think it's better than earlier version. Earlier version was pretty much washed out. I mean the image was completely flat. But now, because I've added this layer that darkens the fog itself, it adds depth to the whole scene, because everything was green earlier. I didn't like that. And I've added this one, improved the colors here, and made this to fit the scenery, because the version that I got sent was having different colors. This one had like too much popping out colors, if I make sense. This doesn't really fit the scenery, you know. That's why I recolored it. And then the dude started adding the fire camp. So I've asked him if he's gonna provide it to me in PSD. I'm gonna take this and probably size it down a little bit more and put it much more in the back. But of course in my scene. Somewhere here. Now, one of the things that's kind of still bothering me is maybe that I should put the rats back here. I know that they're drawn a bit too much toony, but maybe then the composition would fit better, because we're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4 areas. So I'm thinking about adding them back, and we can do this quickly. I just have to find them. That's Ratman, this one, right? No, Ratman copy. What? Oh. No, I also figured out why the colors weren't being exported okay. And the issue was basically in that I had to duplicate the layer and then group the layers themselves. And I believe that was cool. Then when I exported that group layer, it worked fine. But. Now Ratman and Ratman copy. Aha, okay. I'm gonna take the copy, move it. Not sure why he put it on such a large layer. Yeah, now there's enough of stuff going on here. The rats are welcomed back. Well, one of the easier tricks could be that I could multiply them. But how could I change them just a little bit to give you an impression that they are not duplicated? We'll see that. Now I was ping-ponging with chat a bit. And there's a recommendation that I should add a rim light because it improves the readability of the character if you have to watch him from afar. We'll see. Maybe one thing that I could improve on the bandits is to make their red a little less washed out. It's a possibility. We're gonna see what's gonna go on with that. Let's try with the middle one. If something can happen with it. Yeah, basically that's an outline. I just have to color this subgroup. And I believe that I don't have such a bad taste in colors after all. Now either that's truth or I'm too much confident, gaining confidence in it. This is now getting pinkish, reddish, so this hue doesn't really need the change. This is where the contrast pops off in chroma. But maybe that's a bit too much. Maybe if I use a different color balance, what can I do here? Can I... If I add some to red. Like 30. Maybe. I mean, the colors look less washed out. We'll see. Let's just play with it for a while. Let's just play with it. It would be cool if I could somehow copy the FX. Can I do that? I don't see any possibility of this. What is this? Composite mode. Blend space. So many things to learn. But maybe the washed out was better. When you're starting to look at the image for a very long time, you become, how should I say, numb to certain things. His tongue here was a bit more red. What if I... That's a bit better. If I go to 0, it's too much washed out. So if we increase the red, I think he's starting to pop out a bit better. Now 0 versus 13. Washed out. A bit better. More toony look. At least I think so. Okay. Huh. Now I'm looking at the instructions. Create a rim light sharp edge. You create a new layer. Name it rim light. Fill transparency. Okay, so if I'm taking a look at this, this could come in somewhere between the characters, probably on this layer. If I go here, say new layer, naming it rim light. I'm gonna add this color tag, and fill is transparency. That's good. Brush hard round. Small 3 to 8 pixels depending on the resolution. What is this? Is it affecting the image in any way yet? Of course not. Now, this is brush. Hard. And 3 to 6 pixels. Color warm orange yellow from your sky. Okay, I think I can take this here, and I take the brush. Now what does it want? Top right, shoulder edge, arm edge. Sword top edge. I'm not very confident in this, but at least what we can do is try. Because I think that then the effect that we're gonna add is some kind of a smudge. What if I pull this all the way down? And it said hair edge top right, so top right, maybe only this part here, and else can be erased, because that's where the light source is coming from, the environment light source. We'll see. Ah, what is that? Maybe this part is already covered. I just want to see how it will guide me. What do I do then with this hard thing that I outline here? Hair edge, shoulder edge, arm edge. Would think that a thing like undo exists. That's too much. Much smaller, like that. Keep it in and directional. Not sure if this is where it should go. Set layer mode in layers panel mode, screen or addition. Layer mode. Huh. Huh. Okay. Addition is stronger. Makes sense, but then you have to create a bloom. I'm just trying this technique out for now. You duplicate the layer, then you say rim glow. Okay, Control Shift D, right? What happens now? Blur it. Filter. Blur. Gaussian blur, or what is that? And then what you do? Start with 5 pixels. Well, I don't think this does anything. Ah, it does. Interesting. But definitely that's too thick. And the color is maybe too strong. We'll see. Let's say 20. Lower opacity to 10, 30. You want it to barely be noticeable. But I like it. I love seeing it. Maybe if I set it to 50. it's an interesting technique, for sure. Probably not confident enough to use it, but right now it may look too strong. Add layer mask, choose white, full opacity. Aha. I can also tweak this. So it goes from addition to, what did it say? Screen? What was normal? Normal was this, right? That was normal. Aha. I really want to see it without blur before. Dissolve is nothing. Color erase also. Don't see it. Merge. Oh, I have to apply it. Only then it's visible. I thought that the previews are working. Well, one of the things that I'm sure that I don't like is... Hey, what is this? Soft light. Huh. Well, let's do them. It's too thick. Just a second. Screen or addition? Screen is safer. Addition is too much, right? Let's see. This is now addition. Let's do it screen. Yeah, it outlines the hair of the character very soon. I mean, much earlier. And if I try to erase it a bit. What's with the force? Uh-huh. Yeah, I think it's really hard to do this with the mouse. It just doesn't behave the way you'd like it to behave. wonder if there's a highlight here as well. What if I add it? What's with this? Kind of. Let's see just if I can duplicate this one and copy it. Oh, why doesn't it have copy effect? What kind of effect was this? Rim glow? And is there a better tool to do this? So this is 20 by 20 and opacity 50. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is duplicate this one again, delete rim glow, delete this one, rename it, and now it wants it to have filter, and it was blur, Gaussian blur, and 20 by 20, or 5, that's too sharp, and opacity of this one reduced on 50, right? Yeah, it gives him an outline. I'm just not sure if I like that his shoulder is being colored. But it puts so much more depth to the picture. I'm gonna ask it if there's an easier trick to do this. Bastard. Easiest method. Duplicate your character, select your character, right click, duplicate layer, move it above everything. Make it a solid color, of course. Alrighty. So if I go to main character, it says that I could duplicate it. Let's see. If I duplicate him, if you're lazy, duplicate the character, colorize orange. How? What is colorize? Is this a thing? Filters. Colorize. Oh shit, it's taking everything. The whole thing. The frame. No. Why does it want to take the whole frame? Let's see. Well, that's an outline, but where's the filament or fill? Of course, I have the main character turned on. Okay, if I colorize now this one. Orange. Filters, blur, gaze and blur. Oh. Ten. Okay. Gaze and blur set to addition and lower opacity. Replace. Addition. Well, I think it's disappeared now, right? Opacity 50 now if I enable it. 1 second. Did something happen in the background? I believe not. Oh, tiny bit. There's a tiny bit of a aura coming through, but nothing in particular, nothing special. All this didn't even help. Because if I go here, and if I have addition, it doesn't do a thing. But normal, dissolve. Oh, what is that? Screen? Also not doing a thing. Okay, now this method doesn't work with addition. I believe it only works with this one. And the thing that I'd have to do here is probably play with values a bit around him. Delete all the outline from everywhere else, maybe make this a bit sharper. It's an interesting technique for sure. But how can one make it sharper? Okay. What if I use the first technique? So the easiest method is duplicate character, move it above everything, make it a solid color, colorized, lightness slightly up. Let's do soft. I mean, it adds some kind of a bloom effect around him. Huh. Create the rim. Aha. So I could create a rim with it. Just a second. This is a copy. Now for this one, I wonder if I just remove it for now. Everything. It's gone. Interesting how the light plays with this. If I enable the character underneath, why is it so much brighter? Because I don't see that I would have any effects here. Okay, anyway. So the character copy remains enabled. Then the first thing it wanted us to make is to colorize. But maybe I could colorize the complete thing. With an outline, huh? I could do it. What's gonna happen? Colors. Colorize. Aha! I could change the color of the outline as well. And then I could set the orange one. Yes. And lightness slightly a bit up. .5. Let's try it with that. With extreme colors for now. Okay, that's an outline. Then create filter, edge, detect edge. What is that? Try swabble. What is swabble? I don't see. Aha, this is swabble. Adjust until you see a clean outline. What is that? Ah, but we already have an outline, so I'm confident that we don't have to modify this one. Oh, yeah. No? Because one thing I'm doing here is actually I'm scaling the character. You know, the outline itself. I can scale it. And then if I enable this one, now I have the outline. And it's uniformly scaled. I scaled it up for 4 pixels. Then what I would have to do is... This looks a bit better now. If I would push it a bit further up. Just a second, if I move. No, this is the wrong layer. That's also the wrong outline. What the hell? It's like not grabbing the correct thing. Example. But I believe that I moved now the dude himself. Okay, if I disable the character, I still like to see him. But is there a fine way to move it? Tools, paint, transform, move. That'd be cool if I could just say move for 2 pixels up. Lock position and size. Lock visibility, lock alpha channel low. Okay. That's the way to do it. Okay. I think this technique is gonna be superior to other ones. Now what I can do is I can basically start deleting the stuff that shouldn't be touching the light, at least not from the environment, and then we can repeat this for every other edge. I believe it would be very cool, very nice. Of course we can make it a bit bigger. Oh, that's too big. Also this place here. Maybe the sword shouldn't be even lit up. Kinda looks weird now. But I know that I can remove this part for sure. And here. Ah, shit. Yeah, this little chibi chubby is bothering me. Bit better. Not yet entirely. Much better. Okay. I think this adds a lot of character to the picture. Now this is a hard outline, but what I can do is make it even better. I'm not sure if I like this one down here. Well, it's not bad. And the point is that this makes the character visible much earlier if you even zoom out. Because if you take a look at this, he doesn't belong in the frame. Now he belongs into the frame. Doesn't, belongs. And he's visible. And that's what I like. And it makes the character match the environment more, because otherwise it just looks flat. At least that's what I think. And now the second thing that we have to do is, I think that the blur can be added. And I'm not sure if I can directly add it on this one. This is the colorize effect. Or I have to duplicate it and put it on the other one. Let's try it out. So this is now number 3. I removed the colorize effect. What the hell did I do? Just a second. Like this, for example. Now if I add layer and I add filter and blur, does this get any effect? I believe I don't see any effect. Blending mode, screen. Nothing changes actually. Okay, if I, for example, try it like this, maybe try to reorder it again. Like that, no. What the fuck is going on here? Sorry about swearing, but this just doesn't feel right. If I move it all the way down. Also not okay. Removing it. This is character copy. What if I nuke you? Okay. The part that's wrong, or I could just recolor it a bit more. It's definitely this one. Paintbrush. Size something much smaller. Oh no. If I take this and I put paintbrush pencil, why is it coloring so much? I mean, I just want to... FX is being applied. What if I disable it? Alrighty, of course. Then I have to take this color now I get it now. This one. And pencil is N. Come on. So actually that the outline sticks to the character. Okay. Now if I re-enable it, the FX, I don't see any air gaps anymore anywhere. At least I think so. Good. Now, if we try to put the blur a bit more, yeah, this is a possibility with the blur. Huh. Yeah, makes it I don't know. That double technique was better. Because I like the hard outline that's here for now, but just adding a bit of blur, it's more work, but I think it adds some nice effect to it. Now, if I try to add a blur to this one, that looks better, in my opinion. Just a tiny bit amount of blur, like ten, and opacity down, yes, to 50. I'll see. Okay, let's put back the music on. I really like this song, especially for creative process. Some kind of a spiritual brother YouTube channel with knights in the background. It knows how to play into male fantasy, I believe. Okay, that's this blur here. I don't think it's bad. I think it's cool. But I know that I'm gonna try to change the how should I say, the contrast a couple of times during this process, for sure. Because how many pixels is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not too much, not too little. But if I try to move it just for a pixel down, just trying to make it even more subtle. You know what? What if I try to group these ones? No. And I simply say new layer group. Glow. And this one go inside the glow. Okay. It's inside. Now, if I have them both selected, don't like it. I got a feeling that the glow is too strong. Or maybe even this is a bit better. Saving for now. Now the dude that's also in the light, I think that the tree line, at least this first part here, should have some glow on it. And maybe golem from this side. And these things here. Didra could also have some kind of a glow. We'll see. Lizard man. And I have an outline here. So the process was that I duplicate it. I take it out. Put it down. 1 second. This remained in the main character. Let's name it character glow. And where's the lizard outline? Lizard man. Okay. This is the outline. Let's call it Lizard Man outline. And I duplicate it. No, actually, you know what? I have to scale it a bit for 4 pixels, if I'm not mistaken, to achieve the same effect, and then I move it up for 4 pixels. If I do scale layer, that's 590. Scale. And here I say it has been scaled, definitely, I see it. Now I just have to move it for 4 pixels up. 4. Alrighty, and what we can do is, I believe we can save the FX of the outline, colorize, save it glow outline. Okay. And this one can be saved as glow blur. So we're gonna have it the same everywhere. And colorize glow. Colorize blur. So name it outline and blur. Well, why are you wanting to save as number 1? Okay, never mind. First thing. Now the outline is here, but I have to add a group. We call it lizard group. Lizard glow. We say outline, and then we duplicate this one, and we call it glow. And for the outline, we have to add colorize, if I'm not mistaken. Glow colorize. Okay. Oh, the scale of this one had to be increased, but I already increased the scale. I swear I did. Wait a minute. Ah, of course, it has to be up. That's why it looked weird. Weirder. And much better. Thank you, dude. Of course, I understand. Man, but nice seeing you. Yeah, I've made some changes, like a lot. Made the background darker because it's in the valley. It adds more depth to the thing. And now I'm playing a bit with outline. Still work in progress, but I think it's gonna look cool in the end. Good luck catching those E's, man. Well, he's basically exposed. That's normal. And when I have more elements that are outlined with orange, it's starting to look much better. But glow, I can basically remove this one and duplicate this one again. And I start adding glow now only. I mean blur. And this one can be taken off, right? The colorize. Actually, the colorize is important. That stays here as well. But what we add is blur. And the preset is glow blur. A bit too much, if I look at it now. A bit too much. Now, how can I mitigate this? The colorize effect of this one isn't bad. But if I go here and take this colorize and I decrease the opacity, like 50. That's more subtle. $20. Okay, what if I also do this here? Then in the blur. I increase the opacity. Yeah, it has to be more subtle because that one is too strong. Maybe the main character could be a bit better outlined, but if I outline everything too much, they all eat the attention too much, I believe. Hey, dude. Burns Eye. Thank you, thank you. I'm still working on the cover art because cover art is the biggest problem. I mean, the game still has to be finished and polished and all sorts of things, but it deserves more love. So I collaborated with an artist for this thing, and yeah, he delivered some things, but I tried to improve on it a bit. This cover art is gonna do it more justice because there are golems in the game, rats, bandits, and so on. And it's quite a fun experience. When I had an old art, I was like, ooh, that one looked good. But now if I take a look at it, I just think to myself, what the hell was I thinking? But hey, that's how it is. We learn. Yeah, I couldn't have made this new art without the appropriate artist, definitely. But still, hate on bashing on the guy, but not sure if I'm striving towards some I don't know, man. A lot of times I feel like I have to do a lot of things myself because I really don't feel like somebody else can bring the things to vision like I had in mind. For example, this is what the artist delivered. This one here. I think everything looked like really flat, especially the background and so on. And I know this is still work in progress regarding the campfire. I'm gonna take it in from the new version, but I feel like everything is too green. And then I started to play yesterday a bit with the scene, and this is what I'm doing with the recolors and so on. So it's a little bit loyal to the old color palette that I had in mind, and I think I've added a lot of depth by making the background darker, by starting to adding outline, by changing the contrasts a bit. Hope it's more pleasing for the eye. Oh, I'm glad that you see it, man. Glad that you see it. And it's a pretty important part regarding the, how should I say, regarding the press kit and so on. Yeah, right? Because our eyes were actually trained to spot the predators soon, right? And the prey. I believe that we have extra perception for the green color in the eyes. I heard that somewhere. hordes evolution thingy. So, are you a developer yourself? Or more or less a gamer? Let's see. I think the 10 will work better. This is now blur. Yeah, like that. A bit subtle maybe. I could... Well, opacity is okay. But what if I put 20 here and try to even increase to scale it a bit more? So I can go scale layer. Oh, that's cool, man. That's really cool. Feel free to drop in the link of the game. I'd love to see it. But somewhere along the way I lost that color opacity, right? Wait up. Which one was added? This one maybe? And this one here. That's a really strong one. But what I can do now, and what I will do now, is definitely undo this. The scale was right, but blur is gonna come in later, so I'm gonna move it. Oh. Cool one, dude. That's like a PS1 style, right? Regarding the graphics. Ah, a bit higher. But still pretty cool. Are you gonna have some kind of a leaderboard or something like that? You have a score. And how do you score things? The faster you go, the more you get the score bonus. And drifting when it starts. Nice, but do the people compete at the real time, or is it a leaderboard system? Cool, man. Hey. Subbing, dude. Want to see what you're gonna make with it. Really fun. Didn't play a lot of racing games when I was a child, but I played Global Races. Thanks. Yeah, of course. It's cool. Cool game. when I was a little dude, I played Mario Kart on Super Nintendo. That was my racing game. And in high school, Need for Speed Underground too, a little bit, but that was mostly because they really had such an epic tunes. I loved it. I loved the tunes there. Now I remove this one. And what I'm gonna do here. So otherwise, regarding the software, what are you developing usually? For Corpo stuff. Web development? Anything else? Not sure if I should expose his whole arm. Maybe I should. Like this. But then I'm not sure if this is needed. Oh, that's cool. Classroom stuff. Custom made stuff. I bet. Well, if he's exposed towards that area there, then the whole outline is here. And what is your stack? What are you usually using for development? Some kind of React and so on for the front end? Or Vue? Svelte? I can't even recall anymore what they're using nowadays. Next.js, So server side rendering. Cool. Cool. And now this outline, if I'm not mistaken, I have to disable first this effect. And now I can pick this color, take the paintbrush, and color everything the same way. A bit too much. Oh my god. That smooth scroll wheel. If you just bump it a little bit, it moves a couple of pixels. So what we're doing now is we're trying to make sure that there are no gaps between the outline and the core. I'm using Godot game engine. Otherwise, before that, I worked with Unity. But I'm a fan of open source, man. Just a fan, and I already switched to Godot. And then I saw that Unity even started to mess with the pricing changes and so on. Oh, that's cool, man. That's really cool. Do you use C#, GD script? Like this. Okay, now if... Oh, I see one more place that this could potentially be harmful. This place here. Oh man, and my screen is messy. Oh, would you look at that? Here we go, like this. Alrighty, now if we re-enable it, there are no more gaps. That's one thing. His lower part doesn't have the outline anymore, which is good, great. Oh, I understand you. I'm a C-sharp fan, man. Yeah, right? He's popping much better. Now we just have to... Maybe we're gonna decrease his outline a bit. And we have to add some glow to it. Only one thing that I think could be problematic is that the layer, the layer itself is a bit small. Now I wonder, can I change the layer size somewhere? Is that possible? Oh, that was outline. But. Let's Google it. How to increase layer dimensions in GIMP without... let's just keep it like that, and then we're gonna go layer boundary size. Scale layer to resize the content or layer boundary size. Okay. Let's go here, then you have... layer boundary size. I believe we have to go one by one. So we can play with a bit more outline and glow. We have more space then. Let's say 500, 650, 500, and center it. Resize, good. And now this one. Layer boundary size. 650, 500, center, resize. Now if we add some blur to it, which we can add, just a second, because that one was remade, I'm gonna just delete this one. Duplicate it, and we call it blur. Oh, what did I do? No, this one is okay, but blur is here. That's the glow itself. But this one needs... We have to be soft on the numbers here and reduce the opacity. If you ask me, that's too much of everything. Maybe we're gonna have to move a bit of the glow itself. So if I press M, a bit lower, and like that. Higher. Yes, actually the wrist is in front of his face a bit, is it? No, it's behind, so that's okay. Problem with me is that I can waste so much time with this. Going in my Zen mode, just dragging pixels left and right and so on. Oh man, too much. Too much. If you ask me, too much. And in the end, I'm not sure if I want him to pop even so much. It's just that inner thing, you know. Something tells me if this is lit by the light. Okay, I mean the main character is elevated from everybody else, because if you take a look at it, it looks like this is on the hill up here and everybody comes up towards him. One thing maybe, that the light here for these guys should be more subtle. So maybe the opacity of itself here could be also reduced. To 50. 50, okay. And outline. Selected layer is not visible, of course. I'm telling you guys, when I'm gonna retire, I'm gonna paint. It is something that makes you calm down, enjoy the process. We'll see, let's leave it like that for now with the lizard. I can always disable it. I just want to see what can I do with the colors of the treetops. Or maybe with bandits themselves. And of course, one thing that I'm noticing right away is that this is being cut off up here as well. So, main character glow should also have its layers increased. Boundary size 550, 800, and recentered. That's outline. And now the blur is problematic as well. $800, center, resize, and it's not being cut off anymore. So that's gone. one trick could be with the lizards, if I'm taking a look at him. Maybe only the club and this part could be touching everything. But yeah, let's go to the others as well. So we have bandits. Banditos. Banditos, señoritos. And each bandit, of course, has its own outline. Do you think so? On Godot forum, I've opened the thread about the game, right? And I received the feedback about panoramic animations, not animations, but the capsule. First thing that they noticed, they really spat on the capsule itself. Wait a minute, I'm gonna try to share the thread. And they also suggested that I should do something in Blender, but the problem is I have zero experience with Blender, and I'm afraid that it takes me a lot of time to do this. Basically, this is the thread. Old capsule, sad. Back then I liked it. But yeah, this game looks cool, but can you change the game AI generated banner? It looks bad. Sad thing is that this was inspired by AI, but everything else was made by me and drawn in Inkscape. So that was a harsh reality check. And then they said that a lot of games use Blender, and then they make a positioning out and they use those colors from there and so on. I even they gave me some tutorials regarding that. So the community definitely noticed it. They said that, yeah, Blender could come in handy. Still have to work on promo, shorts and so on. Okay, now I'm really getting a feeling that I shouldn't outline other things, either the lizard or anybody else, that the main character outline is enough, that I make him really stand out from everybody. And the outline works well because it separates the blue jumpsuit from the background. That's one thing. Yeah, exactly, man. Exactly. Everybody's really against the AI. I mean, I am against the AI slop art, definitely, but I didn't have a feeling that I'm creating one, you know. But for pipeline building and so on, you know, if you need some quick editor script that you really know what it has to do, I mean, writing it out by yourself is kind of tedious, if you ask me. And now the more I look at it, the more I believe that this dude shouldn't have an outline. There's just no need. The main character Max is elevated above everybody else, so maybe the outline on him is enough. And these guys are already in the darkness. Exactly. And it's one thing that kind of demotivated me in a lot of places regarding development. Kind of started to feel obsolete from time to time when everything's gonna be automated, because I have a feeling that, you know, even now it's very helpful now. If you automate it, there's just gonna be less requests for the know-how. You know, I also worked before as a web developer, and the stuff, how helpful it is already in that section, especially if you use, like you say, Next.js or React. It was trained on that like a lot. It's just a question of time when they say, yeah, this can be generated much more cheaper. Than when you had to manually write out CSS and so on. It was cool experience. And HTML. I don't know if anybody feels the same way that I do, but yeah, be right back. Honey Bunny came. Give me a couple of minutes. Here we go. I'm back. I'm pretty fast using Blender. I wouldn't mind helping you out if you ever end up wanting an animation out of it. Dude, thank you very much. It means a lot. Probably someday, when the art will be complete and if you're gonna hang around and so on, we're gonna talk about it a bit, okay? Because those animations are actually quite cool for the main menus and so on, right? I think they are. Yo! Nahis Begar. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it okay, because I think with Nahis that means in Hungarian heavy. Nahas or Nahis? Nahas. Cool. It's old as World of Warcraft nickname. Cool, cool. Didn't play it ever, World of Warcraft, because yeah, my parents were very against some kind of a subscription model. You know, mother was working on the bank, and yeah, she was against the subscription model that you have to pay. She always compared it to like micro credits. But yeah, then I heard that you could also play it like for free if you grinded enough gold, and then you could sell it and so on. There was a whole big hype about it. But I loved the Warcraft 3. That was one of my favorites. I also wanted to develop a game like a Warcraft 3, not Warcraft 3, but more on companions and so on. So basically the earlier prototype that I was working on before I started to work on Lens of Fury was kind of inspired by that. If I find it out on the YouTube now, just a second. If we go to the channel video. Ah, this was the title in progress. I called it Brotherhood of the Fox, and this UI was very inspired from Warcraft 3. So I was thinking that you would have a squad with a hero, just like there. But, you know, that you couldn't select anything else, but the squad would be more like a squad in Dark Omen. That's Warhammer game. Yeah, that was... You're playing World of Warcraft right now? Ah. Bad experience with it? Or why did you quit? I know that I had an addiction with League of Legends, and at one point I figured out that this isn't healthy for me. Exactly. I mean, I'm also a really huge addictive personality regarding video games. I know that. They can destroy me, man. That's why to keep in touch with video games, I try to force myself rather to develop them, and then at least I can say that I'm doing a productive thing, you know. By the way, you wanted to see some videos of the streaming system I do in Godot. I have some videos on my OneDrive if you're interested to check it out. Do you have something publicly available on YouTube as well? I mean, or unlisted, something like that, if possible. I'd love to see it. No YouTube. Oh. Do it. Okay. Well, my girlfriend said that maybe the outline is too thick, but I don't think so. Now I'm a bit in a rough spot. What can I do to fix it? Maybe colorize opacity a bit. But no, I like that. No, I like it. I like it. I don't know why, but I like it. What about this one? This one is just making it stronger. What if I change to 20 on this one, because this is the outline, and then I change the opacity of the blur itself? Does it do anything? Not really. What did I do here? I had this disabled. Alrighty. We're gonna go back to Godot soon. I was messing this for too long. Like 2 hours. But it's okay. I kinda like it. I kinda like it. I will post this image probably on Godot forum. In this format. As a main capsule. This is the dimension, I believe. And I'm gonna ask for the feedback, but it has been said that it would be also good if I could somehow make the logo blend in. But how could I do that? I've added a drop shadow. I could also maybe add a blur effect. Oh no, that's terrible. Well, this basically has to be sharp, but yeah, gotta be productive. Maybe this art related thing is more for the evening hours when the family is going to sleep. So yeah, got a lot of things to do here. Now, if I remember everything correctly, yesterday I believe we fixed that spawning issue that was going on. That sometimes the units, they ran out into the chunk. So if we go here, check it out a bit, what's going on. Okay, Bryn is here. I'm always feeling a bit scared for the thunder. Oh, it poisoned me. Freaking thing. Sinister entities incoming. And then the wild boar appears. Okay. Boom. We got them. Oh, video incoming. Just a second. Putting it up here. Hopefully nothing NS, F, W or V comes out. I'm bad at spelling, as you guessed. So this is now converting existing terrain to stream version. You're chunking it or something like that. That's cool, because I also have a chunking thingy underneath. Yay! I saw that issue. It also appears for me. So it converts the existing world to chunk size. That's cool. Converting existing world. Now you're gonna have it chunked out. That's actually the thing that I was messing with yesterday. I had a problem that if in my chunk the units were unloaded and sometimes they still had movement system turned on and they traveled out of the chunk, and when you loaded back the chunk they were in the walls. Oh, that's cool. That's really handy, man. Excellent. So it also loads, for example, on the go. For example, if you would move from one chunk to the other, it's gonna load it, and so on. If you go to the border, you know what I mean. Objects are bound to regions, then to chunks. Now for my system, I used it a bit more simpler. I have like one tile map that's a single source of truth, where I have, it's not rendered and it's not collidable and so on. And I basically store everything there. And then I make the, I see you moving now. Awesome. Do you use multi-threading for this or something else? Because currently the approach I'm taking is that I'm just loading and unloading the adjacent chunks and so on. You know, bigger ones. Like it. Gonna subscribe if you're gonna have something else in the future. Because this, I mean, if you're ever gonna share the plugin, awesome. Same thingy. I also have 24 by 24 chunks. So what I currently do is load the adjacent ones. And this improved performance like a ton. In the game itself. It was a needed hell. And that's kind of a sweet spot of number of chunks that I can load and unload. So it doesn't hog too much CPU, I believe. I really like it. Really like it when we have common things to talk about, you know, like software developers for the implementations and so on. It's always fun to compare the ideas. But your system is much more advanced, man. I just needed this one for this overworld part. And this one is actually a simple little road. So no big thingies there. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to kill everybody and see if the Ditra is gonna spawn. And I believe that I'm gonna die. Because there's just too many freaking mobs. And one of the sad things is that when I open the debug console, the thing is... Ah, shit. Sorry about swearing. The thing is that the game doesn't pause, and I'm a lazy person and I didn't fix that. Oh! Oh! Hey! Bryn, his animation got stuck. Animation has to be finished. Yeah! I have procedural stuff going on here. Gas system, also cool. Just pull it up, put it up. Let's say I have now player add item. We're gonna cheat a bit. Gonna say Phantom Fox. Phantom Fox. One and no, Fox Phantom. I always change the order of this word of this item. I've named it very wrong, and then once I'm gonna rename it, I'm gonna say it wrong again. And the second one I want to add is Berserker Blast Rune. This one. And what else? Small or great? Large. I have large. Large health potion. That's the other thing, and maybe I could add some levels. Add levels, like 5. Good. Let's level up, let's get beefier, juicier for this. And let's clear them out and see if something's gonna work. Now, I should be using this one. Good, we got healed. We got this. Let's equip the rune. Well, let's unleash some mayhem on this poor fellas. Boom. Bryn, you alive. Eat something. I guess he's still knocked out, but the animation got stuck because he recovers only once the enemies nearby get cleared. Now he should be back. Yep, he's back. He even ate the steak. Come on, run. Okay. The fairy got blasted, but where is he running now? He found somebody. Oh, straight to the hell, huh? I guess the hell's tongue attracted them to one place. He's going forward. Look at that tough guy. Sinister entities incoming, more of them. Okay. Freaking... They're scary. Thanks, dude. Bernzai, thank you very much for coming and hanging out with us. I appreciate it. Didra fell asleep, so this worked. Hey, let's use this rune. There we go. Okay, now this area is kind of okay. It worked. Now we're gonna move to next area, to the caverns. That's the next biome we have to create, and the first biome is more or less on arenas. Second one is on this this road where you get swarmed also while you move, and the third one is gonna be again about exploration, but more also about some interesting points of interest. Maybe that area is gonna be a bit larger. And there's gonna be like dynamic spawns, similar like here I have on this road. Discord app, I'm seeing now the image. Hey, that's a again useful plugin, man. Very smart. It looks clean, man. My item system is a mess now. I have like item which has a lot of item effects and so on. You have like core passives, spell augments. So core spell is a fireball. And then ignite. Oh, that's really cool. That's really, really cool. Good one, good one, good one. Well thought out. Because my item system is a bit messier. Like, much more dumbed down, not fancy. But iron sword, for example. There we go. For example, I only have rune slots and item effects. So the rune slot actually holds an item that you put in, and when you unleash the combo, those items get triggered, you know, doom 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 doom. So if you have a fire blast rune, it means that if you're swinging a sword and you hit the right button, then it executes the fireball. And then each of item, it has own effects, and these effects can be like deal damage, where you can tweak some numbers and so on, but you know, here it's much messier than the clean system you have. But it works. That's cool. That's really cool. Cool to see. Alrighty. Make a video and we'll take a look. The thing that I wanted to do now is... yeah, we have to go to level 2. A bigger biome. Much bigger. And for the recipes, I have to write that down. Because if you're gonna want to... current recipes that I have set up in a way is... I mean, they work and it's cool. I'm gonna keep the underhood system and the display of the recipes. But the logic for example, crafting a sword, hammer, and so on, that's gonna be dependent on molds. For example, that you have to place down a mold if you want a sword or a hammer, so different things can be forged. And for example, this is a simple recipe system I have. Elven mace, you can create it by having an iron mace, fairy dust, and this rock. And it's quite straightforward, and I believe it does the job well. I don't want to have too many ingredients anyway, so even if I have 4 or 5, 6, it just increases down. But never want to have more than 4, if that makes sense. Then the same thing I have here is the bestiary. Similar thing. When you kill enough units, you unlock them, so you can read about them. Some logs regarding the lore and so on, for the people that are interested in, and so on. But now let's get some work done. So if I go to test level, yeah, I name it test level. That's a sad thing. It's a camp area. Before that, just a second, I'm gonna commit. So we're gonna know what we're gonna have from this fresh session today. And I have this, commit, and level and editing, what is this? Nothing specific. Spike trap. Events controller, added the Didra at the end of the rainy road. When you defeat all the enemies from the waves, goes to sleep. First thing. Then the second thing is units getting stuck when unloading and loading tile chunks. Should be fixed now. Then I have level seeding, the level RNG is fixed. Let's call it fixed. The RNG of the level. What else did I do? Level chunk controller, that's regarding that. So the chunk loading has been optimized a bit. And then here I have this where I stop them and re-enable them. And some translations added. That's it. Let's push it. Let's go like this. And now here on the spike trap, this is where we were testing stuff. I don't need it anymore. So we can save it. But what we gotta do now is check out this simple map resource. I think it's Roguelite. And that's where I'm gonna set it to number 2. No. What's this? Rainy road, level and editing. Of course. The one that we have to edit now is mines. No, it's cavernous depths. This is the one. So I'm gonna copy it. And you know what? Rainy road. I want to move it somewhere on the side for now. So I just have the reference on the level position. And this one's gonna go here. Copy. And then here, paste. So when we're gonna start the run, we're gonna go here. Maybe we should somehow also auto level up, because this is the 3rd area already. So when we start, we should be higher level. And this is the thing we're gonna edit. Potion brewing cutscene using my narrative tools. It combines cutscene, quest and dialogue. There are also events, but the given cutscene doesn't spawn event. Let me take a look. Are you talking about something as well? Just a second, let me hear you. Only clicks. Just a second, everything's going fast. Let me see. So this is a cutscene editor you have here. Narrative, I also wanted to make a nice plugin like that early on. Cool. Very nice. Very nice, very nice. Cutscene board. Oh, you have it specified in camera and everything. Let me show you mine. My simplicity. My cutscene system is a bit more primitive, and the way I just implemented it, because I'm not gonna rely heavily on cutscenes, 2 to 3 cutscenes throughout the game, so no need for it. I have a cutscene controller, which has cutscenes, and then I just name the nodes intro cutscene, which has its action. And basically what I do here is I just go from the array, from top to bottom, all the way down, you know, sequentially. And sometimes I flag it like, if you have to wait for it, sequential, parallel, and so on. I just do it, you know, like that. And it was simple, but it does the thing that I have to do for now. But if I would go for a full RPG, definitely I'd need some things. So for example, I have play sound, set unit state, set the direction they have to face. Everything is like that. Yeah, exactly. As long as it gets the work done and you're not breaking your teeth too much, right? But definitely, man, if I would have more time, I'd work on the plugins like you have. Because if you have a tool, nice tool, you know, it's really a motivation booster on refactoring stuff, on saying stuff, you know, because if you have to drag up and down and do sorts of mumbo jumbo here, yeah. But man, I really love otherwise the Godot's default abilities of extending stuff, creating tools and so on. It's just lovely. So, okay. We got this here, Cavernous Depths. A level loot progress bracket, this is gonna be level 3 for now. The ambient sound, we're gonna have to add some kind of cave drips. Music type is gonna be... You know what? I'm gonna go directly edit it here, so we get a bit more space. Music type is gonna be Cavernous Depths. I believe that I have special music for that. Seed is being used random, so I don't need it. Border size of 5, that's okay. Biome is Cavernous Depths, okay. These are the things that are okay from the beginning, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to make it a bit bigger. So by default, if I set it 512 to 512, not too big, not too small. The only difference is that you have to feel before you get to the top that you're going through the cavern system a bit bigger. Now, fixed walkable tile count. Earlier, I think I have there 1000. Let's do 2000. Starting position is at the bottom. Pit count mode. No, this isn't being used now. Noise is okay. Hot pad width 3 is okay. Weight by in level placement type. What is that? Why did I use this? I can't remember this, why it was used. Not gonna touch it for now. Removing the pillars, so this is 1 by 1 tile, if it's getting spawned. Minimum number of sectors, max number of sectors. Do I even use this? Just a second. This is level resource. Then old sense. Old sense. Do I use it? Looky, I use it. In scenarios. But not anywhere else. Because by default I create, I believe, around 8 sectors. Level generator. Where do I have it? Let's go up, let's see the definition. It's in here. Add. Sector seed positions is coming from here. Sectors count. Min number of sectors. I use it. Sector count is 9. I override it. Idiot. You see it? I have... Oh! Sup, dude? Raid! Hello, 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 4-star Yelp review, hello Triple Jump Games. How you guys doing? I'm trying to work now. Hey, yeah, I can show you. I was working a bit on the capsule art again today. Added some outline and so on, so this is gonna be much more beautiful. I think it's gonna represent more the thingy, what the game is about. You know, you're surrounded by enemies. Maybe in the future we're gonna add a campfire here. That's the thing that artist drew for me, but I'm modifying it in a way that I want it. And the second thing is I want to work now on the cavern system. That's a new biome. So it's a bit bigger chunk. And this system is the 3rd level that you encounter. And basically we are then 3 out of 4 levels. 4th level is gonna be peak. Up on the peak in the winter area. But here, this one's gonna be a bit bigger. And maybe it's gonna have only one arena. It's not gonna be dependent that you go through it. Maybe it's gonna be really brutal. But more or less more things is gonna go on. More things are gonna happen in the overworld of that sector. So we're gonna have to populate it with good ores, stuff together, crafting materials and so on. That's gonna be. But first, we start with the generation of the level itself, the layout. Otherwise, how is it going, man? Triple Jump Games. How's Atomcraft? Yesterday you told me that you've included all the systems. I mean that you have all the elements, that you can make all the elements because of the particle colliders, right? So, I'm excited to see that in action. But if I continue here a bit, regarding the arena, I don't have anything here. Points of interest is also not being populated, and that's okay for now. But what we can do is we set the size to be double size of the first area, and we have to reposition the walkers now. This is unique. And the starting position of the walker should be in the middle. If we have 512, 512, let's do it 256, 256. So that's gonna be starting in the middle. And the problem with this one is because this one was used... No, actually I have weight by direction here. So it's trying to expand equally in each direction. That's good, but we could, for example, make that it would be preferable if he would go up a bit more. That would give you a bit more of a feeling that the area is going upwards, but then again we had a very straight line up in the previous level, so leaving it for now. Then the sizes. 1, 0 is not being used at all, okay. Don't mind that one, but the caverns should be... Yeah, they have pockets and stuff like that. So maybe we're gonna see how it goes with the default role now. Okay, saving it. Chunk size frequency change. Chunk size. Where is that? Chunk size frequency. No, chunk size change frequency. do I use you? Local level generator. If it's not 0, oh, I can leave it for now, the default one. Okay. What did I do here? This was 30. But avoid previous tiles, that's okay. Direction change probability 0.3, 30%. Yeah, why not? Why not? And what can we do here? Everything else is okay. Let's just play it and see what's gonna be generated and if everything is wired up correctly. Okay. Let's get into it. This is gonna be generating a bit longer. Well, it didn't generate for that long, but it's cool. Okay, the rats are here. The water has spawned. Now for the caverns, I was thinking that maybe, just maybe, we're gonna have lava. Because why the hell not? Lava should be here. Okay. It looks like a cavern, but the thing is that it feels small. I'd increase it a bit. Or maybe I should spawn a bit more walkers. Spread them out a bit. The current thing is that I'm spawning the walkers in the same position as the walker dies. So basically after certain amounts of movements, the walker dies and it spawns a new one. So it picks up a new one, the new size. And that one also decides to which direction it has to go. And this makes the path walkable. Like, I don't have any pockets that aren't accessible. Well, let's see. Okay, this one is a bit different. Still, I believe that that's a bit too wide. And the lizard men are gonna be in here. They're gonna live. Some zombies occasionally, but most of the time the lizard people. Ah, feels a bit flat, a bit small, if you ask me. But then again, we have to take in account that the very good run should be completed in about hour and a half. So maybe some stuff are gonna have to be axed. We'll see. Okay. First thing first. Other thing that's bothering me is a bit that it's too brown. Maybe we could make it darker because you're in a cavern. So canvas modulate override. It's not being used anywhere. If I have a biome, I know that I have a somewhere biome specified, and the biome itself can have modulation, and this is going on in here. That's too bright. I'm gonna play with this in game. But cavernous depths. It's gonna be modified in a way that we take the walker resource and say that 2x2 is spawning frequently enough, but this is spawning maybe too many times. Maybe I could also add 1x1 couple of times. Like, let's say 50. This could make the corridors a bit more interesting if you have only one tile. It would fit the cavern system. So that's a thing. Okay. Oh, it's saving so long. Now, let's test it out. Also, the cavernous depths. Let's increase some number of tiles. Fixed walkable tile count. Let's put it on 5,000. Why not? Okay. Much bigger now. So we went from 2,000 to 5,000. That's pretty bigger thing. Which means that we're gonna have to add interesting point of interests. It's using smaller ones. I like it. So the pockets are being created. And these offset pockets are gonna have some interesting stuff in them. Much more interesting. I guess the size of this one is interesting. It gives you more of an exploration, because the first biome is like, yeah, little glade. You have some camps, you have some forges and so on, nothing really big. But this one is a bit of more explorable, if you ask me. Maybe I could tune down a bit more. Or actually I could change the size so it could even go further. And in a biome like this, it's from the player interest that sometimes he's gonna spend for the iron pickaxe. Because with the iron pickaxe, add item, you can actually dig. It's not a digging game, but it's a bit of a bonus. You can connect stuff. It's gonna cost you, but shaping the territory, because in this biome I was thinking that maybe the main boss is gonna be spawned here, not in the arena itself. I wonder how that will work. If the player is gonna have the kiting abilities, maybe that's gonna suck. Oh, it's something that has to be tested. But see, you can basically dig out your way from all sorts of different scenarios. Okay. Now regarding the colors, if we go to the level, I think we have a canvas modulate here. It should be. Now if I change this to a bit darker, to something like that, I think that this brings out more creepiness to the game, if you know what I mean. It's gonna be a bit darker, feels good. That one was too bright, and the shadow colors are okay. Let me just mute this music and hear if the music for the caverns is working. I've muted it a bit earlier. Yeah, it's working. I welcome the feedback for this song. I think it fits the theme of caverns. So any comment is more than welcome. And then electric guitar. Some sound effects. No sound effect for the pickaxe. Well, something else on to do. And the animation is wrong. It actually swings it like it wants to stab somebody. So a shaman was here. Okay, muting the music again. Hope you guys like the music. He's a talented artist, I'd say. That Dan Man or Podman or what is his name? I bought all the music from him. You just feel when somebody is a nerd about video games, you know. You feel his passion. Max level up. I kind of like this, where this is going. But maybe if we expand the limits, the boundaries, how far it can generate. I wonder if the map is gonna be even more different. Well, here's the main pad. The color of the main pad is okay. But the thing I want to change before I forget, I kind of like this color now. It's okay-ish. So I'm gonna copy it and paste it somewhere safe, just for safekeeping, and then I'm gonna try to use a color from my palette. You know, there's a bit of an OCD there. But text. Actually, I can just use the Visual Studio Code. Paste it somewhere here. 5F. Okay. Like the preview. But from here I could say, let's try this one. This one was similar, right? It is a bit dark. It isn't as dark. Maybe index 1, index 2. Let's just see how it's gonna be applied. Copy. And if we go to Godot. It feels too red. It just makes everything feel too much red, if you ask me. So this one definitely isn't good. What about this one? Also, no. No, guys, actually, I think that we nailed it the first time by randomly dragging it. I'm gonna tweak it a bit more. And even towards bluish color, maybe. A bit darker. Let's see it. Yeah. Darker is better. And before I lose it, I'm gonna copy it, double copy, and go to Cavernous Depths biome and override it. I think it's gonna be better now. For some reason my ability assignment code broke. Love that magic. Love it. You know how it goes. I always feel stressed out when something was working and it isn't working anymore, and the first thing is, oh no, what did I do? What went wrong? Stress through the roof. But I'm sure, man, you're gonna fix it. In no time. Okay, color. Now, let's try replacing it with the freaking lava. Oh, you tell me. You tell me about that. I hate it as well. When you just want to add some kind of a control node over it and suddenly you can't click or reassign your items anymore. That's... yeah. So I have water brush, lava brush. That's okay. But do I have a flag where I set this? Level generator, water. Shallow fluid cell position. I just fixedly take the water brush. So I don't have the logic here for taking the lava brush as well. Maybe I could have a fluid type in the level resource, and then I could... change it to lava. Or acid. I have 3 different liquids. And this is where the pickaxe is gonna come in useful. Because sometimes maybe you're gonna have the opportunity to avoid lava by using pickaxe. That's gonna be cool. Now it's starting to make sense. Why do I have pickaxe in the game? It's not a mining game. Well, then the other thing is maybe we could have not connected rooms where there could be treasure chests and so on. And you can only get it by purchasing a pickaxe. Now the room could be trapped. It couldn't be trapped. Ah, we're gonna see. Anyway, interesting times. Okay, you made it through the storm. Again, look at this beautiful painting, guys. Probably AI. I don't have a doubt, but you listen to the song just because of the painting, you know. But I like the previous one a bit better. The one before that even. Hold on, you've always made it. This one maybe. Experiencing interruptions. Actually, I am. Come on. Here we go. Now set cells come from water brush. Shallowed fluid cell position. This is for either lava, acid, or Lava, acid, or water. Now it'd be cool if in the biome resource, if we take a look at it, okay, biome resource, fluid type, do I have something like that? Yeah. This is regarding the visuals, terrain brushes, weighted lists. Aha! We still have to populate some flora. I wonder what we're gonna populate as a flora here. In the forest biome the grass was cool, but the caves are kind of bland. So I'm not sure. I mean, I have mushrooms. The fungi, they grow in mushrooms. I mean, they grow in caves. But okay. Terrain brushes, noise textures. Let's add a new one. Do I have that lava somewhere? Terrain ground type lava. That's ground reaction system. Aha, and here I have grass, stone, sand, snow, and everything else. Grass, snow, should I use this one? Astra Wolf Gaming, hello! How's it going? Nehes said it's old version, the definition has changed a bit. Let's see. Let's see what you cooked. How ability is created, cool. Amped arrow projectile, you have a node, then you add a sprite to it. Okay. Oh, that's cool, man. Every beginning is hard, but you know, the more time you spend in it, the easier it gets. It's always like that. So here you're assigning the collision shape to the object itself. You have a dedicated mask layer. Amped arrow ability. Okay. Then you change the type. Projectile gameplay ability. So for that you have another node. Oh, that's cool. Lua, that's usually it was used in Love, right? Framework, I believe, also. And a lot of other things use Lua as well. I know that Asprite uses it for plugin development. You even assign the inputs here. That's cool, the cooldown, the cost. How did you make this search box, man? Just a second, I saw something custom here, huh? Wasn't that something custom? This search box, you made that by yourself, right? Somewhere I saw it. Cost attribute tag. The drop boxes and so on. I'm not sure if this is default Godots. The duration, custom. Yeah, all bells and whistles underneath it, I see. Then you have starting abilities for the player. It's very similar under the hood, I'd say. Hey, looks cool. Like the animation, how he pulls the bow and that the flash happens. Zoop, zoop. Cool sound as well. Oh, cool. Specially made for you, or did you bought like an art pack somewhere? Ah, barrage of arrows, of course. That's cool. Spread degrees. We have everything similar here. Huh, magma boulder is the one from above. I wonder if I could recreate it somehow with my system. Maybe that's gonna be a challenge. Oh. Well, I have shrapnels. So maybe I could somehow create it, but look at this one. Boom. 1, 2. That's a lot of projectiles. Love it. That's cool. Yeah, I have to play more with shrapnels as well with my projectiles. I'll do it. Great progress, man. Great progress. Let's leave a like for the dude. Everything is object pool, so it's cool. Yeah, I also have this in a way. But for the projectile, I have one damage node, which is responsible for everything, and then I save the projectile data here. For example, arrow. This is poison arrow, which has its things defined. If it spawns some particles and so on, everything is in the projectile definition, you know, here. That's basically how I use it then. And then the wooden bow, for example, I have shoot projectile ability or spawn projectile, this one. I just define all the things it has to have defined, speed, etc. and so on. I can spawn the shrapnel on hit, on destroy, on range, reach, you know, how it goes. And the projectile data is referenced in here. And that's basically it. Deal damage is same underneath. I would just have to equip it. I mean, I would just have to move a lot of things to more specific child classes, I believe, from time to time. Because I have a lot of shared properties now, which kind of sucks. But then again, I need them in certain things. Yeah. Never mind. Further we go. So the wooden bow is here. I was just showing it, but now what we gotta do is... I was working on lava, right? Terrain ground type. In here, in the biome, I could specify this. Export public terrain ground type. Shallow fluid type. In the future, maybe we're gonna have the option to have acid, or this is gonna be dependent on the difficulty of the game. If you're gonna be playing on easy, then in the caverns you're gonna have water. If you're gonna be playing on medium or normal, you're gonna have lava. Hard is gonna have acid. We're gonna play with this in the future. And let's go terrain ground type by default. It's gonna be water. Let's build it and see if it crashes. Okay. Now if we go to cavernous depth, here we have shallow fluid, but we're gonna say lava. You know what, I'm gonna change this one. Don't want to reuse it, because this is gonna be a crap a bit later down the line. Let's create a dedicated public enum. Shallow fluid type. Let's keep it proper. So water is gonna be 0. Acid is gonna be 10. Lava is gonna be 30. Even though we have this definition somewhere else, still is going to be used for something else, and this isn't good. If you try to use it like that down the line, okay, it's been built. Now what can I do? This is 20. Here for cavernous depths we just say lava. Now let's wire it in. We have level generator. This one was quite clean until now. We're just gonna have to add a conditional and say if biome resource fluid, no, shallow fluid, something like that, shallow fluid type. You know what, this has to be switch in the end, because we have 3 types. This goes here. We say case shallow fluid type. Let's go with water default. Break. This is gonna be run only once. Oh, cool. There we go. Down here. And I'm taking it down here. And like this. First one is water. Then we have acid brush, and then we have lava brush. I think that's okay. Now if we save it as lava, and if we start, we should be seeing much more red colors and many more dangerous things. And the problem with lava is that the NPCs the NPCs will run into it. They're not gonna try to actively avoid it, so we're gonna have to make that path also not walkable, if I make sense. Because nobody wants to touch the lava. They should walk in the water, that's okay, they're gonna be slower. But lava, no. Oh, look, lava is here. But the last time I remember it, it didn't look so dull. Everybody's burning. I should add some movement to it. And now if God will let me to remember how this shader mumbo jumbo used to work. The color is a bit off. What if I go in? Yeah, I catch fire. I don't. I do. Ah, I caught fire. But so did they. Well, now this is a system problem. Because if I kite them in and they want to follow me, this is a squad wiper. That's just insane. Too brutal if you ask me. Does it spawn somewhere else as well? Yeah, some lava here. Ah. Alright, so the color. Color. It's too pale. Now, how can I fix you? I mean, if I take a look on my other monitor, it looks good. I'm not sure how it looks on stream. Just a second. Well, on stream it looks good. So it's my monitor's problem. Because I'm looking it on stream. I mean, idiot. Second. No. It looks much better. What did I do? Inception. I have a really old Samsung monitor. It's like 15 years old. This one. At least I think it is so old. It's working and all, but the colors are a bit sadder, I'd say. And now that I think of it, maybe I'm gonna swap it. I'm gonna use the better monitor in the middle. Yeah. Oh no, I just refreshed the chat, so the chat is gone in the restream, yo. If somebody was writing to me something, sorry about that. Oh, so far so good. Alright, now how to fix this? How to fix this monstrosity? If I go to the lava, on stream it looks okay-ish. Maybe I should add some movement to it. Just a second. Lava. Top down, which one did I use? Liquid lava shader. No. Water waves. Offset speed. I don't have any speed set up here. Water noise. What if I change this a bit? Yeah, then it starts to move. Definitely, we have to add some movement. It's too much static now. And maybe like this, -1. Maybe not even do it. Because if you take a look here, it's moving now and I believe it looks better. It gives you a sense that it's a fluid. A subtle movement speed changed it a bit. I like this one. Much better now, but I know that I had waving for the water itself. Maybe can I do the waving same for lava? Wave animation. Enabled animated spill. Is this working on something? Not really. Color correction, what's that? Ah, that's for making it darker. Ah, this is the bloom. Brightness, of course, we have to add it a bit. We had it on 1, I believe. If I put it up. Now this looks more lava-like. It looks like it's gonna burn you. Just a second, I want you guys to see it. See? It looks a bit more dangerous. Okay. I can catch fire. It stayed on for a long time, but it's not hurting me that much. That's okay. Now, how should I fix this? That I say to the creatures that, okay, you can't walk on it, because my current pathfinding has an issue with it. Because I use pathfinding for creatures in 2 ways. One way is that if there's an obstacle in front of you, the creature is gonna calculate the pathfinding. But if there's isn't an obstacle, it's just gonna try to go towards you. You know, like a mad lad, if I make sense. It's not gonna use any heavy calculations and so on. And now, because lava is on fluid ground, I mean it's on fluid layer, it's not being detected as an obstacle. So it's not gonna trigger pathfinding calculation. It's gonna try to move to you across the lava. This one is a bit trickier than I imagined. But we'll see, we'll save it somehow. Still looking at lava a bit. What is this? 0.2. Some kind of distortion frequency. Wave distortion, I don't see any effect taking in place. At least not for now. Dialing is okay, offset speed is okay. Now this is the noise that's being applied. What about its brightness? Which one does this affect? Aha! Particles that are flowing above lava, so maybe this one is good. That they're a bit brighter. Yep. I'll add them now. This frequency too, what is that doing? Aha, the frequency of particles. The earlier one was okay. Now the speed of this is this. No, that's okay. Offset speed, it's moving a bit in a different direction, that's okay. Wave enhancement, what is that? Enable global waves, I can't recall it. Amplitude. Not really doing anything. Wave speed. Shore wave intensity. I don't see any changes. Yeah, this had to be enabled, but the problem is that this is starting to distort everything. It worked for water for a while that I used back then, but never for lava. And that's okay. Don't need the waves for now. Again, a part when you can spend so much time that everything else gets neglected. So okay, we have lava. Lava is in. The ground gets also colored a bit differently. The space is a bit bigger. And lava never really goes on the main path, so that's another good thing. And of course, if we have lizards, you know, the lizards have problem that they depended on the sun. And if we want to populate the caverns with the lizards, now this goes together with lore, because these caverns have lava in them. So they're not so cold-blooded anymore. They're not cold. This is an explanation why they thrive in the caverns. But the goal here would be that you have to like destroy 3 camps in different sites. You can scavenge all sorts of things, but each camp would be like a bit of an invasion that you trigger and so on. It would be in your interest that you destroy the camps because you would get XP, but the main objective would probably be to, I don't know, to destroy something that can be found in camp itself. So after you obtain 3 items from each camp, we'd go like that. You can get something that triggers that Deidre releases down, if I'm making any sense. Let me just try to find if the Deidre spawned correctly. If we go a bit higher, here's the main path. It's always darker, so you can always navigate yourself to the exit. It's probably always the longest path you find in the game. So far so good, it's going up. Ooh, far away, even some rats are here. Some lava. Come on guy, where are you? He's here. The Deidre is distressed. This matches Gother's assessment. A high threat entity is likely nearby. Maybe the main objective would be here that you have to create something for the dude to eat. And then the dialogue option would appear. If you have this thing in your inventory. But what would happen if you destroy it by any chances? I have a destroy button here. Huh. Maybe that's just a Darwin award that the player is awarded. Congratulations, you outplayed yourself. Something like that. Stupid is, stupid does. Okay. I like the cavern style. Basically what we just do is we say that these points of interest always gonna try to spawn very, very far away. And they're gonna be a main focal point of this now. And they're gonna be a bit square shaped. For example, if it would spawn here, what would we call this food? Something that really, really convinces the Deidre that it can eat it, and immediately after it falls asleep. So one thing would be here. And the other would be somewhere else. And this could be a quest objective. I have a whole questing system underneath it. It enhances the whole experience. Makes it much more interesting, I'd say. Because after that, we won't have Deidre anymore because you're at the top. So here you're gonna have the ability... Yeah, that's it. It's decided. Hey Rensky, yes, it's Godot. Godot. Okay. Oh my god, I still have issues with sound. Sometimes everything explodes. And the old sin that I had is that I have a scene that looks if buttons are added on the scene. And it attaches the play sounds. And that's gonna have to be modified a bit. I just have to remember what did I name that. Dynamic something? No. Sound. Button. Where do I do that? Okay. Focus, Philip. First on the first thing. And the first thing is gonna be... Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to add dinos. Lizard men. And of course, for the love of God, then I don't have to even worry about it, because the lizard men are gonna be immune to fire. So they can walk in lava. Oh my god. Did I just save myself the headache of avoidance for lava? Just a second. If I have... let's take a look at them. I have a lot of sprites. There's a pipeline in place that's gonna help us. I mean, it already helped us cut them up, but we're gonna have to come up with abilities, their stats, and so on. By default, this is a mini lizard man. And just a second. I think that Lyashek was his name. That's where I bought them. I just want to see the animations. There we go. So we have two different types. Like a simple one who has a spear and he's throwing a spear, okay. Then we have a pyro guy who swings a torch and he can breathe fire. I'd say that one is nasty. That one's gonna be really cool. We're gonna make like a flamethrower effect. The fire isn't gonna deal too much damage, but the fire breather is gonna be cool. Huh. Then we have this brute that is actually on the picture of the cover art. I think that I tried to convince him to make him more dinosaur looking. Maybe I'm gonna delve deeper. Maybe the shape, teeth and so on, to modify it. So basically I told him to draw this dude here. This one. Well, that's okay. So I would go in this way. These are the roamers. They're gonna roam around the caverns, you know. But these are gonna be the elite ones that guard the place. That points of interest. They look more like nobility, if it makes sense, because they have like golden outlines here, and their stats are gonna be buffed. And for the boss battle, what we can do is we can spawn like 3 types of these ones, but different colors. So one could belong to a specific element, other one could belong to another element, and so on. That'd be cool. I think that would be really cool. So each camp would have like this mini boss. I have a whole demon faction, but maybe that one's gonna come later, because I want to have this lava place dedicated to lizards. Yeah. What do you guys think? These ones are gonna be roaming around. They're gonna have like patrol points. I'm gonna set them to explore the area constantly. Tap, 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 tap. They aren't that strong. Maybe we can make them a bit different by changing their colors a bit, like instead of red, green or blue. Not sure yet. But these ones are elite. They stay there. For example, this one could have like a big defense against blunt attacks, and he's gonna be a tank because he has a shield. Wow. He can cast some serious magic. Maybe he could heal them. That could be disastrous. And the rider. I mean, definitely the fear and tremble should come from this guy. He looks like a boss material. Big guy. How tall is he? He is tall, huh? He's a big chunky fella. I think he has 20 something pixels at least. So, I believe that next 2 days we're gonna work on this. On creating these enemies. Top row, bottom row, and so on. That's like 10 new enemies. It's a lot. And one thing I'm also gonna try to implement is I have a leveling system for the units themselves. Like enemies. If they kill stuff, they can level up. But I don't have anywhere linked, I believe, that they would get some stat bonuses if they level up. We could do that. This would give us opportunity. Yeah, right? I also wish that... I mean, I'm not gonna deny it. Possibility in the future. Why not? Because I created a control system that's player bound, so I could easily make it that one player plays on mouse, keyboard, mouse button and so on, and the other one could be playing on the gamepad. But the biggest issue, guys, is always the UI, Because currently everything is bound to one player, and you know, it takes up a lot of space, so I'm not sure how anything would be spaced. But now that I think of it, if I duplicate it and move it to the left and the other one to the right, do I have something that's taking up this place? Huh. You know, left and right. But I wouldn't do it split screen. I would make it that you stay together on the screen. That the camera just repositions itself between you guys. Holy cow, what if I could do this? Just a second. I mean, online co-op, I am not gonna dwell there. At least not for now. Even for this co-op, not yet. Because that's a really big thing to do. But for online co-op, I think that Steam has the system integrated. You know. Which you can basically play a local co-op game through online. It emulates it, right? Somehow. The input. Just a second, where is this one? This is player HUD. Inventory UI. This one. If I duplicate it. And if, for example, I'm just testing it now a bit. This one would be here. Just the test, nothing serious yet. And you could only open one inventory at a time. Three, 5, 6, and this one. That's actually, we have enough of a state here. I could keep 2 of them on the screen. Basically what we would do is, I mean, you would see a bit less, but then again you have more power. Oh my god, I have enough space for 2? Do I? And then when you open up, only one could open the inventory at a time. It would pop up here, and you do the mumbo jumbo stuff, another has to wait. Oh my god. That'd be cool. Do I have enough of space? If this is the reality, what's the size of this? Because I know that I'm rendering sometimes to smaller resolution to bigger screen, but that's 480, that's it. And this is actually... Holy shit, I'm thinking about it now. Seriously. Ah, but then we have the problem here with this place. How the rune combo system works. Huh. Yeah. Because now you have 2 fury bars, you know. I mean, the money and everything would be shared. That wouldn't be a problem, so it wouldn't be a minimap. But then in the future, I mean, if I would go more compact way, I could remove the bars and indicate this somehow differently to make it a bit with less space, and duplicate this one and move it on the left side here. And and this one would have one here. Well, it's a big freaking feature, I'm for sure, but now that I'm thinking of it, it is doable, but not within this time frame that we have for early access now. Because we could get rid of the bull icon as well. Put it here. Put it here, this would still fit. In co-op you wouldn't have any companions with you because companion is the player. Well, it isn't the prettiest thing, but yeah. That's the thing. You never know. Currently it isn't. Currently we have to get to early access and release the early access game. Focus on the polish, but then the second update, or third, not second, but update in the future could bring the co-op when everything else is well. And this could give us a big boost again. Okay, I'm not gonna save this one. Don't save. But cool, cool, cool. I didn't think about this the way before. But it totally be plausible. Alright, where did I say? Yeah, I have to go. So I'm gonna stop the stream for today. Gonna still work some on it a bit offline, but I gotta go eat something and do other things as well. So I'll be back tomorrow again at 8 AM I usually start. I'd be happy to see you guys, and thank you for staying with me. Hope you enjoyed. Bye bye.